2, 1. Hello, this is Dave, and welcome to Equities Story. I'm with the amazing Mr. Wolf. And Wolf, I feel a bit uncomfortable having to wear my tie on the beach, but that's the new world we live in.
So you know what? I'm normally like shocked when I see you wear a tie. So I don't know even what to say anymore.
Well, it's when do I normally wear a tie?
Never.
When I'm asking for money.
Yeah, or at the wedding.
At the wedding. At the wedding. All right. Yeah.
Are your kids getting married or something?
Well, one of them should do. Anyway, let's go. This is just a general share advice and not personal advice. And I've just been in meetings that just come out, and I'm stuck with the great Wolfie to tell us all about today's announcements and if they're any good. And let's start with PLS, Wolfie Pilbara.
All right. So the first thing, obviously the market's pretty tough today, right? So there's going to be maybe some movements that are just maybe not quite right. But PLS anyway, pretty good result on paper. The profit went up fivefold from the previous year. So you can see the fact is that, can they repeat that? Probably not next year, especially with the prices coming back down again. So I expect, much worse next year. It probably doesn't matter if they can actually boost the production from there. But still, probably top 3 lithium stories we've got here in Australia.
Yeah, so but I'll tell you what, though, we have said about this. We said it a while back. I mean, it's holding up, but it looks like very sideways at the moment. It's had a tremendous run over the last few years, Wolf, doesn't it? And I think, it doesn't pay a dividend. I don't really know why anyone would really be in it at the moment, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm being a bit tough on it, but
I think there's just people that just love lithium, right? And they just think that lithium is going to be the best thing since sliced bread for the next 20 years. And that might be good, but it's had its, like you said, it had its strong runs. It's past its easy money stage. Now it's going to be more of a harder stage. So there's still believers in this story. That's why it's still going quite well.
And like we teach on the course, don't fall in love with stocks.
No.
Fall in love with and when we make mistakes in Equity Stories, when we do exactly that, right? So exactly. All right, Wesfarmers, Wolf, starting to look quite good the other week. The announcements come out, it's bouncing above trend, it was holding above trend. So I presume reasonably positive.
I'm very impressed, actually. I was expecting a little bit of a softy type announcement, but overall 5% growth in a market that's very, very difficult for a big company like Wesfarmers. I think they've beaten expectations from what I've just been reading. So I was pleasantly surprised. I'm thinking great. And I went through the figures to see which divisions did quite well. And pretty much everything except Catch Group did reasonably well. So you've got to give them a lot of kudos. I mean, they've got so many different businesses from the pharmaceuticals, which they bought API recently, and Silk, to actually lithium, which they said they're going to start having revenues second half of the year. Dave, there's lots to look forward to. I mean, this is a really, really good company and a quality company. So for me, long term, probably great hold. Trading well as well, probably good. So for me, because I had it I bought it 3 weeks ago on that beautiful little chart, the swinging chart, right? And I'm still holding. So on that result, I'm still holding.
All right, well done, Wolf. MRM. It's talk about a trending story. Is can you see this keep trending, Wolf? I think it's another contract win, wasn't it?
Yeah, there is. So look, they just keep giving us good news. Really, at the end of the day, you hold it. That's all you can say, because you can still see positivity in that space. So I can't see for the moment any negatives.
All right, let's have a look at Gin, because again, they're holding above trend. They're not looking too exciting. It's obviously a very interesting jumbo lottery where you can just buy it online. It's pretty popular. It's taking off. How was the report?
Yeah, look, okay. I think that's probably the best way to say it. Okay, I had to flick through it. It wasn't anything to catch my eye. It wasn't anything to go, wow, I got to sell. You can see the reaction, muted. And I think that's pretty much apt. So for me, there's better stories out there, but, it's still holding. So if you're in this for some other reason, then it's, for technically I probably suppose and fundamentally a hold. But for me, better stories out there to chase.
Wolfie, a dividend and growth story, VNT.
Yep.
coming on the trend line, is opportunity to nibble?
Possibly for dividend, yes. I mean, the results are a little bit deceiving because when you look through them, you go, oh my God, it went backwards in profits. Didn't expect that, but you got to go back to its previous announcement in FY22, and there was a tax benefit out of it. So, they didn't pay any tax back last year. And this year they had to. So that's why it looks much worse. But the numbers actually, if you extrapolate, if you normalize the actual numbers, it's still growing, right? So overall, decent. Yeah. So I probably would say, yeah, I would be looking at a nibble for a dividend on this.
All right. Let's have a look at SES. Looks absolutely terrible. I don't know why I've got this one up. I think I just recognized it.
I have no idea what you're doing there.
And that's just a classic example where you always sell when it goes underwater. Let's go.
As an example, leave the stuff for me in the morning, please. I'm trying to think you're.
You know what I remembered? That used to be your favorite stock, and I remember.
You're living in the past. You need to get on with the.
I know. Luckily, Cincinnati saves us. All right, IPG, come on, Wolf. It's holding trend. The announcement's out. It's down 7%. What's going on here? Bit of profit taking?
Yeah, a bit of. Look, the thing what let it down, no guidance. Pretty much they said, sorry, we're not going to give you anything. We're going to give you something at AGM, which is probably a couple of months away, right? But if you look at the numbers, pretty good. The numbers were up to 30% growth. I think 20-something% bottom line. The beautiful thing about this company is it's increasing its margins. So they are doing all the right things for me. So still nibble around these levels. And I expect them to come up with a pretty good update at AGM. So for me, opportunity knocks.
All right. Okay. DUR. Forever and a day, just one of the most beautiful charts on our market at the moment. Is that going to continue?
Possibly, but again, there's no guidance given except just saying there's going to be more growth. I don't think they can replicate this year. They doubled their earnings, right? Doubled. I mean, that's 100% growth here. So it's going to be extremely hard. Even I'd say 20% will be still pretty good. I'd consider it. Let me just work out some of these numbers because I've written out all these EPSs. So let me just give you some numbers for some of these stocks because that's what we failed to do. What they're trading on. So it's 0.0791. Because I know we're flying through it. So this one's trading on 16 times. I can imagine, there's going to be some profit taking. Understandable. So I can maybe see that come back to 120 on the back of that. But generally speaking, great result. Not much guidance, but you can't expect it to grow another 100% next year. I think probably you're going to be looking in maybe the 20s.
Right. Okay. So maybe for those traders out there, below 120. If it closes below 120 by the end of the week, you sell.
Correct.
ABB. So hello.
Very good, surprising, positive result, Dave. So sometimes you get the surprise on the downside, sometimes going on the upside. This is a surprise on the upside. I don't think the market was expecting this at all. And they've come up with a very strong result and a good outlook as well of about up to 23% growth. So, I think the company is maybe back on the growth trail after maybe a couple of tough years. So if it finishes like this in the day, I might be buying this.
Right. Okay. And I think, Wolf, you've seen how skittish one of the boys was talking about last night actually on the Facebook. You see how skittish the market is, isn't it? I think you need to wait towards the end of the day before you buy these.
Absolutely, you would. Absolutely. I wouldn't do it now. I'd wait till the day. Oh, God.
All right. MXI.
Yep.
Great looking chart, Wolf, and delivering again.
Yeah, good result. Good result for the parts business. Again, a little bit mixed with the outlook. Hard to tell exactly what they're going to deliver next year. But overall, I think if you look at the numbers, and I'm just going to work it out again for you, 287 divided by 0.123 equals at 23 times. So maybe it's a little bit expensive. So at the end of the day, $3 maybe is a bridge too far, right? On this announcement. So maybe the profits I'm taking it right now and just recalibrate for next week and see how you go.
All right. AX1 up 19%.
Yep.
What was all the fuss about in May?
I'll tell you what, Accents, has delivered a result that obviously blew everyone out as expectations, because remember, we were looking at these retailers, right? And some of them are going backwards in the first 7-8 weeks. These guys are going positively, Dave. Oh, sorry, slight negative, I think. So they're doing much better than all the other retailers we've seen. That's why there's a bit of a pop here. I'm thinking, okay, one of the retailers that's actually doing still okay in a tough retail environment. So you can see shoes, defensive. Actually, I need some shoes. So again, I think this is an opportunity for have a little trade to $2.50. This was very surprisingly very, very good. Let me tell you what this one's trading on. So hang on a second. Divided by 1.162. 13 times. And it's cheap. It's cheap.
All right. I think again, like, if you're watching the video, just wait till the end of the day, see where it's trading, and see if it's on Einstein's really on the weekend, and then you can make your decision. It says everyone's taking profits now in every move, aren't they?
Volatile on the day, isn't it?
VYS, another shooting star, Wolfie.
Yep. And another good result from them. So 30% bottom line growth, beautiful. They said they're going to be growth. Most of these today didn't give any financial guidance whatsoever for next year, but just said, there's going to be growth, whatever. So you just have to take that as saying there's going to be something there to look forward to without, maybe with some updates, we're going to have a little bit more. But decent result. VYS, let's just see what they're trading on. So 0.185 divided 0.009 equals 20 times. That's not too bad. Not too bad at 20 times. But maybe, again, 20 cents, maybe a bit bridge a little bit too far. Maybe some profit taking, maybe just going sideways for a little while.
But and growing at what's
30%. 30%.
Okay. Well, pretty good.
Yeah, it is. But, some of these stocks have gone so hard, so fast that maybe they just need a little bit of breather.
Pete, you feel this people infrastructure's hardly done by, don't you? And the chart looks the chart looks terrible. So what did you make of their announcement?
Pretty good. I mean, growth there, talking about growth at next year. They're in a good space of employment services, right? So for me, it's just the circumstances really at the end of the day. Maybe a little bit of, the market's just not believing in the PPE story. But overall, I don't see a problem with this at all. I think they're doing very, very well in a tough market. So cheap as chips as well. So let me actually tell you. So 230. Hang on, let's just work this out. 235. Right. This is what they're trading on with growth next year, mind you. Right. So 235 divided by, I've got it here somewhere. Here we go. 37. 6 times PE. This is ridiculous.
It's funny, isn't it, how the market just certain stocks it just doesn't like. Now PXA.
Yep.
PEXA Group. Look, it's been a dog really for a long time, and it's looking like it's going to go lower, Wolf.
Yeah, look at the profitability went backwards. They just blamed it on the tough housing market, understandably, right? We know that the housing market is tough. It's still a good company overall, but in this current environment, there's definitely better stories out there. I would not be chasing this. It will bounce back eventually. Trust me, once the housing market turns again, we're going to get lower interest rates. This is going to be pumping. But right now, you wouldn't touch it because you might pick it up even lower.
It's funny they're saying it's tough. You read the newspapers and there's record sales in some suburbs.
Yeah, I know, but it's sketchy. I don't think it's like a good indication exactly overall how it's actually going.
Well, I know. I think the press make the property market. They're very good at keeping it strong, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. They all talk about the good sales. What about the bad sales out there or non-sales?
All right, and let's have a look at RDN, because you said yesterday that they're likely to possibly raise. No, look, they've raised. What?
That was quite predictable, wasn't it?
Well, I suppose for them, what did they raise at? That's the big issue.
I've just gone into a trading hold. I'd say they're going to probably do it at about 2 cents, presumably.
2 cents.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I'm just predicting this is probably 2 cents. I just want to do a couple of more EPSs. Just give me a sec there because I'm looking at Wesfarmers. So let's have a look at Wesfarmers again. $50 divided by $2.17. So Wesfarmers is trading on 23 times. It's actually not too bad, Wesfarmers, right? So I'm liking that. IPG, let's look at that one. What was the price on that one? 425.
416 at the moment.
Okay, so that one's trading on 22 times, not too bad either. So I'm okay with the 20 to 30% growth. I'm liking that. But I think that the standout for me, the surprise was ABB for sure. AX1 was definitely a surprise as well in the retail space. Really liking the Wesfarmers result, very strong in a really tough retail environment. I like the IPG result without the guidance, which a little bit obviously let it down slightly. So that was the sort of overall picture I've got out of all of them. And of course, Duratec was very, very good. It's just probably you're not gonna repeat the same as this year from 100% growth to probably about 20, I'd say.
Well, just I want to talk about TLX very quickly. We put it as a trade yesterday. It didn't go on with it. A little bit surprised with that, but at the end of the day, the announcement was good. And I think when you're trading these sort of stories, just have a general view, good chart, good story. Just needs to hold up above the water level, and it should be absolutely fine. So
don't you start after a day already, talking about the TLX that is not quite working out. Relax.
No, my job is to keep people calm, and I think
everyone should be calm already. I mean, that's the reason why we put it on, just because it doesn't go the next day. Remember, volatility, Dave. This market is from one day you've got 2% Nasdaq jump. Next day you've got a minus 2% fall. That's what we're living in right now. An environment where it's very, very, very difficult. And Dave, when you see many stocks, right, in America, where they shorted and they get absolutely squeezed and the company is absolutely shite, you know that this market is completely bonkers.
All right, I'm glad. I love your view of the market at the moment. On that note, I think it's going to get even more bonkers, Wolf, to be honest with you, as we go forward. So thank you very much, Wolfie. Have a good day, and we'll see you live. Hopefully,
Absolutely.
I'll be there.
See you live at ATA. Join us all for 12 o'clock. Hopefully, some of these stories that we mentioned that are looking good, we'll revisit them again in 2 hours' time. So join us.
Thanks, Wolfie. Bye-bye.